something I can see turning out of that black hole, two luminous discs. The eyes, it might be a face, might be almost a... Good heavens, something wriggling out of the shadow like a gray snake. Now it's another one, and another one, and another one. They look like tentacles to me. Oh, yeah, I can see the thing's body now. It's large as a bear. It glistens like wet leather, but that face, ladies and gentlemen, it's indescribable. I can hardly force myself to keep looking at it. It's so awful. The eyes are black, and they gleam like a serpent. The mouth is a kind of V-shape with saliva dripping from its rimless lips and seem to, quiver and pulsate.
When we last left Alister, we left him out in the cold, huddled in the driver's seat of his van for warmth, about to receive a phone call from Agent Gray. Is the exorcist with you?
No, sir, this location is reasonably secure.
I'm very glad to hear that. Do you have any idea what his current location is?
Sir, he's somewhere inside Springwood Lodge.
That's less than ideal, but that's something we can still work with. We've received some upsetting intel regarding your exorcist friend, and I'm afraid that he is not as reliable of an asset to us as we initially believed. It would be in your best interest, Agent, to pull him out of there as soon as you can, or at least to prevent him from going any further into the mansion.
With all due respect, sir, I followed him here because I'm confident that his unique skill set and combination of experience is provides an alternative and useful perspective on the situation.
I understand that, Alister, I really do. But this is a potential security risk. We're dispatching another agent to your location to pick him up.
Sir, is there any intel you're authorized to share with me that might give me any guidance on how to proceed regarding the exorcist?
There's a pause on the call. Not at this time, no. But Agent Ortiz will be able to provide more information when she gets there.
Yes, sir. Understood, sir. I think Alister's used to, you wait for your superior officer to sign off before you don't hang up on your boss.
Sure, absolutely. There's another pause, followed by, I'm serious about this, Alister. I understand that you two are close to a degree, but the exorcist cannot proceed any further. Do whatever you have to. The screen goes blank.
I think Alister kind of sits there staring at the steering wheel for a second, trying to integrate all of that into his his. You can hear the little gears going. Like pauses for you would see him like mouthing Ortiz to himself a couple of times. And then nods once to himself and exits the van. Is going to head back toward the lodge.
Anything before you do?
I don't think so. I'm trying to think whether there's anything else that I would have left in the van that I might want to take with me in light of this additional information.
Fair enough. The snow seems to have picked up in the brief amount of time that you were in the car. The flurry of flakes has left some not insubstantial snowbanks that are starting to pile up on the sides of Springwood Lodge. The building is becoming encased in snow. You trudge back through the path that you made out here, although your footprints are noticeably significantly more filled in. And you wander back toward that access door as fast as you're able, with this very conflicting message from the department rattling around in your mind.
I'm doing that thing where I'm trying to tease out, I'm trying to fit the fucking square peg of my brain into the round hole of my character's brain.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to figure out what... I think deep down Alistair wants really badly to trust Saint on this one, and I'm trying to figure out if he's going to let himself or not.
Mm-hmm. My face is so flat.
I know. The thing
what you said in that conversation we had last time was specifically Saint is the kind of person that people trust.
Yeah.
But I don't know if Alistair is going to trust him. You were like, I think he could, but you had not decided at that point whether he was gonna.
No.
To be fair, you don't need to decide that right now. We could dick around this lodge for a little bit, and he could mull that over.
My mouth is so flat, and I'm expressing no emotion right now.
Just turn your camera off, King.
But that's a good question, though, in terms of like what we think is going to make for an interesting storytelling decision. I think is probably not to say anything initially.
Yeah, I think it makes sense to me. It's like, just don't say anything for right now.
Okay.
I think that makes sense for him too. I'm less worried about like what makes story good and more interested in like what is he gonna do? What would be true for him?
I think he's gonna hold off for a little bit and see kind of what happens next.
Okay, cool.
I have one more question, and I'm just to clarify, what did Saint tell Alistair about the visitor?
Oh, fuck, I don't remember.
I can't remember either.
Not a ton. I believe you did say, you is now directed at Matty. I believe that Matty said something to the effect of that they could tell there was something alive about it.
Yeah,
and then
I think
asked for help.
Yeah,
which is pretty much all Saint knows.
I know. Yeah, is I think like I think I said something along the lines of like, I think it's alive. I think there was something in there or something about it that like had a sentience.
Yeah.
And it asked for my help. Which of course was thought of immediately by, so I'm gonna go help it. You can come if you want to or not. Yeah. So yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah.
I think I think it's alive, and I think that it like was being held captive.
No, yeah, but you were upfront about this is what I think the situation is, therefore this is what I am doing.
Yep.
You can fucking come along if you want.
Yeah. None of my business if you come along or not, but that's what I'm doing. That's where I'm going.
Okay.
Saint, where are you right now?
I am hanging out in our rendezvous location. I don't know how long it's going to take for him to do this whole thing. I don't know if he remembers that we've got walkie-talkies. I don't want to get lost here. I don't want to get, like... I don't want them to find me either by myself. Ugh. Even though we've determined I have basically all of our weapons, I don't want to be here by myself. So I'm going to wait in our rendezvous location.
All right. You are on the opposite end of the lodge from where Alistair is, obviously out in the cold making a phone call. You can consider this scene simultaneous with the phone call. As Alistair heads south, you head north to this room. Yeah, I mean, I've described the lounge before. It is barren and very dusty, and as the snow starts to pick up, plenty of these stray flakes go through the broken glass of these huge French doors and melt when they touch the carpet, although the chill is still ever present in the air. Once again, it's a very dusty place. I'm sure there was a lot of life in here at some point, but there definitely is not now.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm gonna probably post up somewhere that's a little bit more hidden. Like, I'm not gonna hang out, like, directly next to the doors or whatever. I'll find a corner. I'll hide behind, like, I don't know, something. I just want to keep a little bit out of view, so if someone does happen to come into this room, I'm not, like, immediately visible.
Sure. This room is a little lengthy. It covers a decent portion of the back end of the lodge, so you can imagine kind of how deep into the building it might go. Only part of it, of course, kind of intersects with that patio in the corner of the room. But yes, there are some armchairs a little further back. I'm going to say that there is like a ring of bookshelves, not a ring, a U shape of bookshelves toward the back with a number of, not coffee tables, but like kind of like high tea tables like would be on the arm of an armchair. If there were two, like at a right angle to each other, there would be like a little table next to the arm of each of them. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to say that being in that area kind of relatively insulates you from the cold, and importantly, gives you a little bit of cover should anybody walk into this room. Any actions you want to take here?
No, it really is just like, I don't think there's much in this room. Clearly there has not been a lot of activity. I don't, like, in terms of investigation, I don't think I'm going to get a whole lot. As I say that sentence, I wonder how true that is. I could maybe find out something about, like, the origin to Springwood Lodge, but for me, the bigger concern here is not being noticed, not being found, and if I start, like, digging through stuff, I'm going to be making noise, and I don't want that. I think that right now, while I am solo, is more important than any information I might find about the origins of Springwood Lodge. So for the time being, we could do that once Alistair shows up. If we want to investigate, we can. But I think for right now, I'm really just going to hang.
Mm-hmm. There was a quietness in the air that is only matched by...
Wait, hold on. I have changed my mind. Because this is something that's been bothering me since last time. I want to check my phone and see if I have any reception.
Saint, you have none.
Okay. That was it. But that doesn't mean that he doesn't. He's got weird government agent phones. But I think I said that last episode too, was like, how do we have any reception up here? The answer is I don't, but anyway. Okay, that's it. Sorry.
There's a fucking sat phone in that van, but they're like, no, you don't have one you can take with you, though.
I mean, you got that text, though.
That is true. I did get that text. Interesting.
I thought you were going to be like, no, actually, I changed my mind. It's like Saint whips out his boombox and starts blasting.
That's right. Karaoke night at Springwood Lodge. No, that was it. Is like, while I have a moment to spare, whether I say anything to Alistair or not, I don't know. But that's something that, like, Saint was like, how the fuck? Why is he looking at his phone? Do I have... Anyway, that's it.
Sure. Can I get notice out of you?
Yeah. Okay, that's only a +1. All right. Big money, no whammies. That's a 2 total. I got 3 neutrals and a 1, so.
There is a contemplative silence that hangs across this room. You are, as I'm sure you've surmised, completely alone. There hasn't been any signs of life in the mansion so far, except for these weird encounters that you've been having, although who can really point to what's causing those? Saint, it's as you kind of scan the bookshelves as quietly as you possibly can, you notice that there is something out of place. Something that wasn't there when you first walked in, although how could you possibly have noticed that? but something that definitely wasn't there a few seconds ago. There was a book on one of the tables, opened and angled toward the chair.
Okay. I'll go take a look at that.
It's nothing special. It just appears to be a novel. And you're certain, even though it's covered with dust, you're certain that when you stepped into this part of the lounge, it wasn't sitting on that table. It's possible it's just the wind, but it looks like one of the pages turns.
What is it open to?
Middle of the book.
Okay, so there's nothing particular in the book itself.
There is nothing special about the book itself.
And I don't see any kind of figure?
Just the book. And the
Okay.
occasional turning page.
Okay, it would take a pretty strong wind to do something like that. Okay, I'll put my back to one of the shelves so that there's not gonna be anything behind me. And I'll say, hi. I see you, if you're here. I'm listening.
The temperature in the room drops.
That's it?
Mm-hmm. Even though you're alone, you hear a faint cough directly from the armchair in front of you.
Okay. I'll sit in the other chair. Because it's 2 chairs with a table in between, yeah?
Absolutely.
I'll sit in the other chair.
V-shaped, tucked into these bookshelves.
Yeah.
It's faint, but when you sit down at the level of the other chair, you can see a slight distortion on the wall behind it. Half like a shadow, half like you're peering through warped glass. There's almost a glimmer floating in the air in front of you. And it's distinctly human-shaped.
Okay.
The page turns again.
Okay. How to communicate with something that can't speak. And probably can't write. We're gonna do a yes or no here, because I think that's gonna be the most effective way to communicate. Unless I can prove otherwise. Yeah, let's do a yes or no here. So, move 3 pages for yes, 1 for no. Can you write, or is it just more simple forms of communication like this?
A couple seconds go by, and a single page flips.
Okay, so we're gonna need to do yes or no's here. That's fine. You're trying to communicate with me. Do you need something from me, or are you trying to warn me? Let me try that. Do you need something from me? Yes or no?
1 page.
Okay. Are you trying to warn me of something?
3 pages.
Okay. Are you trying to warn me about Springwood, the living beings, the living physical beings in here? Not to imply that you are not alive, because clearly you are some form of alive. But anyway, Springwood and his cohort, is that what you're trying to warn me about?
3 pages.
Okay.
1 page.
Pardon me? I just got a yes and a no back to front, is that...
That's correct. There's a pause between the 2 answers. Yes and no.
Are you trying to warn me about Springwood Sr.?
3 pages.
Ah, interesting. He's still here?
3 pages.
Fuck. Okay. Fuck. I can't ask, like, where is he? Because, one, he's probably moving, and two, they may not know.
Also not a yes or no question, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's the other part, is that's not a yes or no.
Unless you were to battleship it and be like, B4.
Here's a map. Yeah.
All right. Hey, man, I'm going to draw a grid across this place. Is he in C10?
Is he? Yeah. Okay.
You've sunk my battle.
Yeah.
Ship.
10 pages for you. So we're gonna do each of these pages corresponds to a number of the fucking alphabet.
No, I want you to like snap the book closed like Morse code.
Yeah.
Snap.
Wait, shit! I forgot I don't know Morse code. Fuck.
Dash dot. What's Yahtzee? You're fucking with me.
Operation. Okay.
Look, ghosts are very bored creatures. If you get to fuck with an exorcist every 100 years.
Okay. Does he want us dead? This is like, how urgent is this? Is what I'm trying to determine. Is like, am I going to die here?
The book doesn't move.
Okay, so irrelevant, maybe.
Or perhaps it doesn't know.
Or it doesn't know. Okay. I guess that's the... Do you know what Springwood Figure wants? This is a fun game to play, because I get to watch your face as you try to determine what the answer is.
1 page.
Okay. Were you a part of his... Oh, I mean, that might be not relevant. I already kind of know that anybody here had to be part of his whole shindig. Do you know about the visitor?
3 pages.
Ah, okay. Is the visitor why you're dead?
1 page. Pause. 3 pages.
Okay, I guess or no. See, you just had your finger on your nose. Was that an "I have a question" situation, or was that being like
that's the question that I was like, yeah, that's where I want to go. Because I have another question that I want to ask, that I want you to ask very badly, and I feel like I shouldn't say what it is.
No.
Some time has passed. It's entirely possible that Alistair can be back in the room. If you want to come in from the cold. Call you one of John le Carre's first novels, because this could be the spy that came in from the cold.
There we go.
Yeah. No, anyway.
Don't dab. Okay. I am gonna... If you're not gonna come in this moment, I'm gonna ask another question, though.
I'll ask one more question, and then I'm
up to you. Just, I'm saying some time has passed.
I'm like, I have one specific question, and it's probably on your mind, but I'm trying to telepathically communicate it to you.
I'm trying to figure out a way to phrase the, like the visitor as a murder weapon versus the murderer.
Sure.
And I'm trying to figure out how do I form that as a yes or no question. Because it might have been like you were sacrificed for the visitor, rather than the visitor being like, fuck all these haters, I'm gonna eat them. You know what I mean? And I'm guessing it is more a form of, like, fed to or, like, used for, rather than the visitor. But that is absolutely me being like, I don't want to believe that they were fucking playing me.
The question that I'm thinking is the visitor the reason that the ghost is still here?
Oh, that's a great question.
Is something about what is keeping it here? What is causing this haunting? Is it something that has...
And the thing is, I don't think that's something that Saint would even think of, because for him it's just like... Because for him, hauntings are normal.
Yeah, okay.
Right? Like, hauntings occur due
all
to...
the time for...
God, almost anything. He's been to literal haunted houses where the house was alive. Like, rather than it being possessed by a ghost, right?
Yeah.
Like...
Okay.
So for him, it's like, it doesn't matter why a haunting happens, because life is full of things where, like, life is constantly happening. That blah, blah, blah. There's this whole, like... So that's not a question he would think to ask. So if you want that question answered, you're going to have to ask it.
Okay, well, that's fine.
So my first question was, did the visitor kill you? Right? That was like the wording of my last question.
Is the visitor the reason
you're dead? Great. Less specific. Good job, Gomes.
Right. To which you got both a yes and a no answer within a couple seconds.
Yeah. Did the visitor... Go ahead.
On a Ouija board, what is it? It's like yes, no, and maybe?
Yeah.
Or unclear, or whatever?
Yeah.
Am I mixing that up with Magic 8 Balls, where it's like results not considered?
Yeah, well, Magic 8 Ball has a lot more results, but there's a yes, a no, an alphabet.
Right.
And there's a maybe, I believe.
Okay,
I've never used one, because I find them unsettling, but...
Oh, of course, neither have I. Obviously, I don't want to get haunted.
Yeah, I'm not an idiot.
Yeah, come on.
I'm not an exorcist, I just play one on TV, but...
Exactly.
Did... Yeah, I think this is the best way to communicate it. Did the visitor kill you directly?
1 page.
Okay, so it was like you were killed for it. Okay. How did everybody die in this place? It was a fire? Yeah? There was a fire here, right?
That's interesting. They said there was a fire, because we've seen no...
It's like so far.
Yeah, we've seen
a fire.
Nothing indicating a fire so far.
Unless I'm remembering that incorrectly. Was there a fire here? Like, is a big fire?
Three pages.
Okay. A fire in this building? Or... You know, that's not a yes or no. In this building?
3 pages.
Okay. Is the fire what killed you?
1 page.
Fire was a cover-up, I bet. Okay.
As Saint is trying to think of whether or not there's anything else he wants to ask of this ghost before moving on to the next phase of doing what exorcists do, Alistair appears around, kind of stops up to the doors and, pushes one open and then kind of stomps a little bit of the snow off his boots, kind of brushes it out of his hair. Very much the behavior of somebody who has spent a lot of time in the snow and is used to, walking in with making the minimum amount of mess.
Yep.
And looks around, probably squinting a little bit at the difference between the light outside and how dim it is in here. And I'm not going to try to whisper because it's a recording, but as quietly as just like, Saint?
Here, come here. I'm speaking to one of the former residents.
Alistair has a second of like, the fuck?
Yeah, what a great ambiguous statement. But
walks over and looks at the empty chair and then looks back at Saint and then says,
yeah. I've established a yes or no system. This person, and gestures towards the chair and then has a moment of like, you can't see, there's nobody there, but we've determined that there was a fire here. They were not killed by the fire. They were killed for the visitor, but not by the visitor. And they're trying to warn us about Springwood Senior specifically.
The news reports did describe a fire.
Yeah.
Presumably in some section of the building we haven't seen yet.
Or they've rebuilt parts of it, maybe.
Or they've rebuilt. Your new acquaintance. Dead because of the visitor, but not...
Killed by.
I suppose that's more evidence in favor of your theory that whatever it is a captive of Springwood's rather than perhaps the other way around.
I was taking into consideration that maybe it had lied to me about its situation, which is why I asked, but I'm thinking perhaps that these Springwoods, as they are as gross as it is, were like fed these people or their energy to it to get something out of it. Some kind of sacrifice, maybe. I don't know. And I think the fire maybe was a cover-up for that.
Or something about their plan or setup went awry.
Maybe.
They covered it up. The yes or no system, what is it?
Turning 1 page for no, 3 pages for yes.
Alistair, kind of squints into at this empty chair to try to see if there's any visual indication that there's a presence there. Do I see the same thing that Saint saw? Like a vague suggestion of something? I think I would like to roll notice.
Okay.
In that case. And I rolled, so that's 1 neutral and 3 positives, which I think is literally the best roll that I've ever done as Alistair.
One of them, anyway.
Plus 2 is a whole fucking 5.
You got a 5 last time, too, to be fair.
True.
Okay. Alistair maybe kind of walks in a single circle, maybe even 2, around the armchair, trying to, almost like a magic eye puzzle, piece out if he can see anything. Or if it's just, dust bunnies floating in the air. It isn't until maybe Saint kind of flags him down a little bit and Alistair crouches toward the same level as the chair that you can see a distortion that can't just be chalked up to air particles. Like I described earlier, it's like looking through warped glass.
Okay.
But you absolutely see a figure. Whether or not this is the first time you've ever seen a figure, that's up to you.
We've definitely seen ghosts in this manner, though, to be fair.
We have.
And also the shadow people.
That's true. I don't know. I think there is still
but nothing
something
like
about...
this.
I don't know. I think there is an element of, it's not like this is old hat for Alistair. I think he has seen ghosts here. I don't think he's seen enough to be, used to them.
And it's probably never communicated with one before.
No, that's a very good point. I think he looks at Saint for a second and then looks back at the suggestion of a figure.
This is certainly the most you've ever seen Saint in action.
That is very true.
Rather than before when I was talking to a fake ghost.
Yeah. It's true. And he thinks for 1 second, just says, is Springwood, the living Springwood, in contact with the presence of his father?
Great question.
There's a moment where you think it might not even happen. Maybe the ghost doesn't talk to you the same way it talks to Saint. It's long enough of a pause that you think the line may have went dead.
And if in that pause, I will say, he's with me. It's okay. If that helps.
I think that sort of gets Saint in the oh, okay.
Well, you are.
No, I know, but he just is it's that look that I think Alistair's given Saint a number of times, which is sort of I'm filing this away. This is a piece of information about how this person operates.
We've had a few this arc. I almost said he's my partner, but I think in that last moment I'm like, oh no, he's not. But he is with me right now. Anyway, yeah. So that's if that matters. I don't know. He's with me.
3 pages flip.
Okay. Good to know.
Family business. In more ways than one. And
how unfortunate to be trapped under the hand of your father even after he's dead. The father you don't like, specifically. I don't feel bad for this guy. I'm just like,
It's
rough.
very gothic novel. Is the visitor the reason you're still here?
3 pages.
Oh, okay.
I guess when Saint seems surprised by this, Alistair looks over at him and just is something like the way you've described the visitor to me, that sort of thing. I wonder if it has its own gravity on some level. Perhaps it's difficult for certain forms of energy to escape its vicinity.
That would track, sure. Are you, this is to the ghost, are you able to communicate with the visitor?
1 page.
Okay. Do you know where the visitor is?
3 pages. The book flips 3 more pages. And almost before you have time to register that it's responded to you, it flips up with the base of its spine hitting the bottom of the table. It is completely upright. You see that the book starts to shake a little bit, and you almost imperceptibly see the bending of a page. Before, there is a dark and deep chill that takes control of the room. The dust that has been on the ground for so long, the entire time that you've been in Springwood Lodge, kicks up in a plume, obscuring your vision. You hear a small but loud thunk right next to the bookshelf, and the dust settles, and the cold dissipates. The book is no longer on the table. There are a number of books on the ground. The shelves were rocked while the dust was in the air. You glance over at the book. You can see the path it took through the air as it slammed into the bookshelf, hard enough to split the wood.
Which direction is that?
Toward the bookshelves in the back of the room.
Right. Like south, southwest,
West.
directly west.
Uh-huh.
Have we already... What is directly west? Is that the...
Unexplored.
Not for long.
Yeah, I think Alistair will kind of will go over there and first look and see if there's any pattern to the books that are lying on the ground, and then go and look at, is the book like embedded in the wood? Is that how you're describing it?
Embedded in the wood.
Fuck
Jesus
me, all right.
Christ.
Yeah,
Fucking Jason.
looks and like almost goes to touch it before realizing that this sucker is fucking embedded in a wood bookshelf. Okay. Is there anything unusual about, I mean, other than the fact that it's embedded in a wood bookshelf? What's going on there? Is it too dorky to pull out one of those little pocket fucking magnifiers or something? Does he have something like that?
Ezra, of course he does.
Of course he does. I think he'll at least pull out, maybe he has a really high beam flashlight, but I imagine he probably also has like a little tiny flashlight. Does that sound reasonable for him
Sure.
to also have like a pen light? I think
Yeah,
he'll
I mean,
pull
he has
out,
a phone even.
I think he'll
Yeah.
pull out a pen light and click it on and just kind of examine to see how the fuck this book ended up embedded. It just, get close and see what's up with the fact that this book is now embedded in a wooden bookshelf.
Once you're done doing that, if you're not going to pull it out of the shelf, I'll pull it out of the shelf.
You turn on your pen light and shine it at the book. It's almost impossible to believe. Even you, with your strength, you cannot imagine being able to thrust a soft object like this, even with a hard back, a soft object like this, so solidly into a piece of wood. This should be an impossible feat, but so far, Springwood Lodge has been a building of impossible occurrences. But the bottom of its spine is indeed embedded into the back of the bookshelf.
shit.
There is a sizable dent, like someone took a hatchet to it. The book feels extremely cold to the touch. But as you kind of reach toward it, the second you make contact with it, it falls out of that little notch and onto the shelf. Aside from its damaged spine, something about the book has notably changed. The book falls to the ground, spine up, pages down, in a tent shape. The upper left-hand corner of pages are all bent in, dog-eared.
So, like, this half? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so, like, the front half, all those pages are dog-eared together. Interesting.
Correct.
I guess I would like to pick it up and see what it's effectively open to now. If most of the corners are dog-eared, where does it stop?
The book doesn't seem particularly notable. It's by an author you don't recognize. Someone whose obscurity must have faded with the 70s and was not rebranded into a modern classic that you would have heard of.
Fair.
It's waiting room garbage.
Okay.
But the part that the dog ears all seem to be pointing to, well, it points to the start of a paragraph break that starts with the phrase, "in the attic."
Okay.
I think Alistair will hold the book up so Saint can see where it's pointing.
Okay. Time to find some stairs.
It seems that a whirlwind of strange occurrences has all just occurred to you here in the lounge of Springwood Lodge. And as the dust finally begins to settle, you turn back toward the kitchen and realize you are not alone.
Fuck.
That's where we'll cut.
Fuck! Alright.
Shit.
What you've just been listening to was ParaScience, a glimpse into a world unknown. It was an actual play horror adventure told to you through the Fate system. Our players are Ezra Kaye as Agent Alister McAndrews and Matty Trumbo-Gomes as capable young man St. Garcia Flores. As for myself, I was your game master and disembodied voice, Ben Hamlin. I also produced this show. Our theme song is by the incorporeal Johnny Rinaldo, and our logo was created by the haunted visage of Terra Bosart. We are currently in the process of remastering and transcribing earlier episodes of the show, and for that I would like to thank Glory Duda, Marcel Hood, and Julie Cooper, as they write down our every word and weave an intricate web of audio for you. You can stay tuned to our social media channels for more information on these developments. This show is brought to you by Infinity Break, where we're telling stories our own way. You can follow us on social media at InfinityBreak23 and check out our website for all of our other podcasts at InfinityBreak.net. We appreciate you listening to this program. If you want to help spread the word, there are a good many ways to do that. Word of mouth helps us immensely, and you can add us at ParaSciencePod on Twitter. And while you're at it, why not tag InfinityBreak23? We have a Patreon at patreon.com/InfinityBreak, where you can start donating to Infinity Break for as little as $1 a month. And if you listen to Apple Podcasts, don't forget to leave a review. Lastly, I would encourage you to join the haunted chorus of voices at the Infinity Break fan Discord. That's bit.ly/InfinityTalk, capital I Infinity, capital T Talk. That's all for now. Let ParaScience never let you sleep. Like a knocking sound from the attic, or a drop of blood from the ceiling. Be careful where you step this chapter.